right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 13. This is the finale.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this has been
dead.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic volume.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of things, I would say, streamlined down to where this basically will be it. Just the battle for Argus.
Yep.
Will they win? Will they lose? Will this be a massive escort mission as, you know, just chaos ensues around them?
Who knows?
Will Ruby Silver Eyes work?
Yep. Will the mech be able to be repaired?
Will the mech be able to be even a part of any of this?
Yeah.
I guess the other thing is also, like, is there any kind of coordinated attack with regarding the kind of the land area?
Sure.
So maybe they get distracted by this big Grim, but actually then, you know, Salem's forces come from, I guess, the south. It would be
one if by land, two if by sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yes.
But yeah. There's also the question of whether or not Yang and Blake are going to tell Company what happened.
Not worth mentioning.
Because you know, with chaos happening and stuff, it might get brushed to the side.
But
you know,
we're gonna have homes to defend too. Is the thing?
Yeah, that's also
it's
true.
not just about like getting out of the city or getting people evacuated safely. Like there's personal stakes here.
I wanna shout us out a little bit. We called Leviathan multiple episodes ago. You guys can go and find it and stuff.
It's not that it's a sea Grim is the thing. It's the fact that it's a sea Grim and it was called Leviathan.
And we literally said Leviathan.
And the thing is, Leviathan is a very common term to refer to sea monsters and stuff. But still, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So guys, without further ado, let's get into this. Genlock! Yeah! Available right now on roosterteeth.com. Or everyone. Yes. At least the first episode. Right.
It really just does my heart so much good that Weiss is at the front.
The darkness cannot last. No hope, no past. Past with I guess that's no hope, no path, actually.
Oh, sure. I mean,
no, we cannot wait. Try to face the day. I'm not singing the lyrics right. Whatever. We're Lightning's Tower. I gotta go watch one of those lyric videos or something like that and get this song memorized perfectly and stuff.
Now, here's the question. When Adam sheathed his sword,
yes,
it could almost be foreshadowing for the fact that he ends up getting stabbed with his own sword, because the way it looks like it could look like the sword is getting damaged into him.
Oh,
I mean, it was totally, like, it's obvious that it was like a sheathing and all that stuff, but, you know, why did they have him be sheathing his sword? He didn't have to be.
Maybe it's a sheathing thing of, like, my fight is done.
Sure.
Putting his sword away.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you look hard enough, you can find symbolism with hindsight, you know, like in anything, but yeah, there might be something there. Oh. This is, not what I expected.
Oh. The bad guys coming?
Oh, sure. Oh, Neo!
Hey!
Neo!
That is...
Hey!
That's
oh,
cool.
that was cool. That was good.
Like, I love the particle effects and all that. That was awesome.
Oh, of course, Cinder has to be
and she has
styling.
The cloak is the color scheme of the Fire Nation. Like...
Hey, that's true.
That's
true.
Just saying.
It's got some blue in it, though.
Yeah, but,
that,
you know.
might want to try materializing
or some purple.
Snow boots.
My one-liner. Even Neo's just like, whatever.
But they are definitely...
Oh! Okay.
I gotta say, though, they are definitely giving the Neo fan service.
Oh, Oh, dang. Oh my god.
No way.
And she can maintain that? Oh. Okay, so that's how quickly she can do that.
Leo, someone once asked me if I believed in destiny. And I'm happy to say I still do.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Alright, alright. 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 Yeah, let's get to the part where we're really, really
Yeah.
excited about here.
Godzilla.
It's a Leviathan.
Okay. That actually makes it
Oh,
awfully
nice.
problematic.
That's a total Godzilla reference.
Over. We're getting slammed by hostiles out here. Where is Cordovin?
This is your fault. Do you hear me?
Ruby!
Okay, they're back. They're
Yeah.
back. Squat up. Squat up.
Are you okay?
Oh,
Yeah, don't even mention it. Yeah.
Yep. Yep, we've got other things to do, I guess.
Giant Grim?
Yes. And we just ruined the only thing capable of stopping it.
Yeah, Weiss, you stare at the camera and give us
Yep,
the
that's right.
chastisement.
Okay, bye, Cordovin.
Ma'am, what's your status? We need an answer. Over.
Well, it's collapsing
sorry.
under the
Don't
pressure.
be. This isn't on you.
But
You're safe. That's all
Oh,
that matters.
okay. So they told them
Yeah.
in the off-screen time. Gotcha. Oh, nice, nice, cool.
I suppose I have to be the bad guy and say it.
Huh.
Getting the lamp to Atlas is still our top priority. And right now, we have the perfect opportunity to head straight for it.
Oh, and ditch Argus?
Whoa.
No way.
Yeah.
We can't leave. Not like this.
it's like you
Not
said.
like
A
this.
huntress is supposed to protect others to the bitter end.
Plus, you know, there's family back there.
Yeah.
You know.
People we care
Over
about.
The Leviathan. John, can you and Ren be ready to mask our ship?
Sweet.
Okay.
We can manage. Got a few ideas?
I've got one.
Eyes up, everybody.
Eyes up.
Back.
Yep. Nice
yeah.
catch. Nice catch.
Oh, I
the
like
OST.
this track. I like this
The
track.
OST. Oh. Okay, it's huge.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
huge.
Uh-huh.
Target base is advanced at 3-4. Leviathan has hit the shallows and resurfaced. We need those shields up now. Over.
Wow. It is big. It is huge. Yep. People we care about.
Go.
Oh, nice.
That's puny.
It's like, oh, what is this?
Engaging. Over.
Oh,
breath
called
weapon,
it! I
breath
called it! It
weapon.
had a
Yeah,
breath weapon!
yeah.
I freaking called it! Yep, then once it hits the yep. Oh, crap. It's barely even like,
Yeah.
it's barely even like, oh, whatever.
All squadrons, fall back to evacuation procedure.
Oh my god, yep. Yeah, disengage.
Over.
No, wait!
Okay, Ruby's gonna try her silver
Who
eyes.
is this? Identify yourself.
I'm a huntress.
Okay.
My team and I are heading to the Leviathan and can weaken it for you to attack.
We can?
Well, I can.
I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah!
When I said trial by fire,
I did it at Beacon and at the farm.
Yep.
You really think you can do it now? I don't have a choice.
Cool.
Okay.
5-1. Your ship is currently flagged as hostile. You will receive no support.
Oh, come on! Come on!
Okay.
Fine. We'll do it alone if we have to.
Alright.
Hit it while it stops at the next barrier. Ren, you're up.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Nice. I love the little gray hue around
Yep,
it to really let us kind of give a visual cue that it is being masked. Because I think that's what you'd want, right? Is you would want to have some way of distracting the Leviathan's direction. But I guess since there's so many people that it can sense the negative emotion from... Oh crap. Oh. Oh!
Damn it. That's all I've got.
It's on the move again. We need to stop it. What
And
do
we
we
need
do?
air support. Yeah. Hey!
Combo time?
Yeah!
Combo time? Okay.
Eyes on us, ugly!
Is it working?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, she's keeping them steady. Gotcha. Oh yeah, it's stupid slow.
Oh!
All right, all right,
okay.
all right.
You have
Cool.
to do this.
All right, all right. Just chilly. Just do it, Ruby. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Ruby, hurry! Something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like Luke.
Turned
at
off your targeting computer.
Luke-
What's
yes,
wrong?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my god. Oh.
And it's in the
Oh.
old style.
Oh. Oh my god.
Or wait, no.
Wait. Oh my god, really? Of course, of course, of course. Oh. Oh!
Holy crap!
Why did turn away? No, 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 no!
Oh.
Oh, is she gonna use a question? She's gonna use a question. Yeah.
Or she's like, thank you for stopping time. Okay. Silver Eyes!
I'm sorry. I don't have a question for you. I just needed a little more time.
I know. And while you don't seek knowledge, just this once, I shall give it freely.
Oh.
I will not allow you to use me without a question again.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Even if this was clever.
Is that wild though?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, it has to work now. It has to.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, into its mouth.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Summer! Summer, oh my god, oh my god! Oh, we've never seen... Oh! The new track!
Yeah!
Oh! Oh!
Holy
God,
crap!
yes!
Holy crap!
Ah!
Holy crap!
Yes!
Oh wow!
Yes!
Wow! Oh.
Oh, it's just too big. Oh.
And now Cordovan tells all the...
Take it from here.
Yep.
Oh, she tore off the arm!
That's your arm.
Oh!
And now she yes! Oh my god! Yes, let go! Let go of the gun!
Yes!
Yes! Oh!
And it's just Why don't you just say good drill break while you're at it?
Right? Oh! Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Kirby. Well done. Oh my god.
That was awesome.
That is yes.
Thank you.
Oh.
And I'm sorry.
The Atlas military can handle the stragglers.
What are you saying?
You go
I'm
to Beacon.
saying I don't think anyone
Atlas.
would notice if one more ship
Ah.
went missing in my lengthy report.
Nice. Nice. Okay. All right, cool.
Cool.
Cool. She's basically being like, Ruby was his wife. Go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Ruby's just like smiling.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh my god.
That was so great.
So good.
We should have just enough fuel to make it.
Nice.
Thanks, Miss Olivera.
Maybe not.
Hey, Ruby. You did great out there today, kid.
Yeah.
Just don't go giving me heart attacks like that again.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Too.
Oh.
You weren't half bad yourself today, Crow.
Kiss fall in love.
No.
I feel like they did all the heavy lifting.
I mean, you're
But
not wrong.
you were there to help when they asked for it. And you were there to catch them when they fell. Literally, if I recall.
Aw.
Thanks. You know, it was pretty incredible getting to see the Grim Reaper in action.
You should have seen me when I was your age.
Oh, that's kind of wholesome and
Yeah.
and oh,
I'm
'cause-
sorry you went through that nightmare, but I'm glad Yang was there for you in time.
We were there for each other.
Oh. Okay.
Words right out of my mouth.
Ah. Oh.
Okay, stop it.
You petrified a leviathan after diving down the barrel of a cannon.
Don't act like you all haven't done crazy stuff before. I mean, Oscar made a successful crash landing. He's a 14-year-old farmhand.
That was seriously impressive.
We'd have been stranded without you.
Oh.
Thanks, but
Oh.
I've been meaning to tell you guys. I didn't land the ship on my own.
Oh.
Stay calm. It's going to be okay.
Osmond took control?
No, he guided me,
Oh.
and then he was gone again.
Does that mean he's been watching us this whole time?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it at least means he was looking out for us.
Hey, if you've never seen Atlas in person before, you don't want to miss this.
Oh, Groovy, did you go all out?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you go all out? Oh, we're gonna see something cool.
Weird that I'm sort of nervous.
No. I'll believe we've made it to Atlas when I see it.
Well, believe it.
Oh.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Oh my god.
You know, you make the trip up to Atlas over and over.
They're on an island on top of an island.
To that view.
Wow.
Come on.
Place?
Yeah.
What is it?
The Atlas Air Fleet. I knew all of our ships were called back, but
They're set up like they're expecting an attack.
Oh.
Manta 5-1. Welcome home.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my god.
That's good.
That was amazing.
Oh
Like,
my
that,
gosh.
And that final shot, like that image of Atlas, that was just like they were showing off right there. Like,
It looks almost futuristic, not just because of it being raised with probably some gravity dust, but the cityscape looks very, very futuristic. Wow, CRWBY, well done.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta say, just major congrats to everyone for, I'd say, just giving it like really like 100% in their roles. I couldn't think of anything where I was just kind of looking at the volume and being like, huh, that part kind of, you know.
Yeah.
No, it was just
absolutely fantastic.
It met expectations or went above and beyond. Like it was fantastic work, like amazingly done.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was kind of interesting is that in the credits, they they changed it to Ozma instead of Ozpin.
Oh, gotcha. Dang.
Yeah.
For Oscar. Like,
well, Oscar was there too, but for Ozpin.
Right. There's no Ozpin anymore.
Right. Exactly.
It's Ozma. Gotcha. This is a new song.
I really like how they brought they had Ruby use Jin to stop time.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I mean,
that was
we
pretty
got
clever.
to hear Colleen give more lines, which is great. But
Right.
but it was that was a great little mechanic they threw in there. But while at the same time saying like, yeah, this isn't, can't do this again,
Uh-huh. Wait.
Also,
this song, Jacob, like listen to the lyrics. This is really good. Like
Nevermore.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I have a very real vibe about.
Man, so many people working on this show. Like,
RT Animation is a huge group now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was before, but it's even bigger. It just keeps growing.
And it looks like they're outsourcing some of it. Like, there's references to like named groups in here, and I wonder if that's just like the nickname of that group of like the CRWBY, or if it's like no, that's another group that they actually brought in to be like, hey, can you do like this part and that part? Wow.
This is a really good new song by Jeff and Casey, but I'm hearing another voice in here. The girl.
Hey. Rising Light.
Nevermore. Lead vocal by Casey Williams and Adrian Cohen. Okay.
Oh. Cool.
Whoa, this is about Adam. This is about Adam and Blake.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, they just did a whole verse for Adam. God, there's nothing to celebrate about a boy who lost his way, who was consumed by hate and stuff.
Oh. But Adam's dead. Like,
that's what I'm saying. This whole thing is, it's behind me.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, we've won you won the battle or I won the war. I won't have to deal with you nevermore, or something like that. Yeah.
But
like, I have
Adam
freedom
wasn't
and
the one
stuff.
who won the battle, is the thing.
End credit scene. That's right. End credit scene.
Okay.
Mercurial disappointment. Mercurial terror.
The chairs are turned over.
I wanted to...
Because Salem had a tantrum, remember? He's watching something.
Oh, are they watching what Salem's doing?
Salem is, okay, Berengal. Gotcha.
Okay.
Is she gonna make a Super Grim or something?
So we had Godzilla, and now we need King Kong.
Oh! The Wicked Witch! The flying monkeys!
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh! Oh, of course she has a lot of them.
Right.
Of course she has a lot of them.
Of course.
Of course. Nice. Oh. Oh. Hey, Hazel. Saying.
If you want something done right.
Oh.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Oh. Whoa. Oh. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay.
So.
This was a really good, tight finale.
Yep.
One of the things that I immediately have to say off the bat is that I look back on like volume 6, and I think this finale is a good representation of that. I think they basically decided this volume, we understand what we can do that works for RWBY. We're going to look back at volume 5 and look at how much of it was essentially kind of chaff, like it was
what could be cut out, yeah.
But then also look at the future of RWBY and what things we want to focus on that are important.
Yep. And
we're going to streamline the story. We're going to move things in a simpler fashion, not necessarily in a weaker fashion, but in a fashion that is like
and
tight,
more character centric,
more character centric, and specifically with having the conflict also have everything now. I would say for all intents and purposes, like it's just going to be a big Atlas arc, like in volume 7.
Yep.
Like, and they don't really have to do anything else because they've already stated basically how Cinder and Neo are going to get to Atlas. They're going to sneak in with an airship.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. We don't really need to see them enter or anything like that.
Nope.
You could have a brief 10-second bit, but you really don't even have to. We know how Watts and Tyrion are going to be involved in it because they're being sent there by Salem to prepare Atlas essentially for her arrival. And Salem is basically like, all right, I need some Grimm that will, survive the Atlas incursion.
Exactly.
Let's make some flying gorillas.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't going to be guerrilla warfare. This is going to be some, guerrilla warfare followed by some gorilla. Not just slaughter.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And because the thing is, okay, the end credit scene, they didn't need to have that in there.
No,
they didn't have to. It was a great finale. They kept it concise. They didn't have it drag on too long, and the conflict was kept focused around the people that we cared about, right? They didn't spend nearly as much time on the conflict with Cordovan as they did with the conflict with Adam, right?
Yes.
And then once that was done, that was over and done with, and then it was the conflict with this Leviathan Grimm, but that was kept short as well.
Yeah,
and then
it was basically RWBY's character.
Exactly, right, because we knew that that's what they would need to do in this situation, even though we didn't know necessarily if it would have the same kind of effect or whatever.
Right,
But they were like, okay, cool, they did that. And they threw in a Giga Drill break for us.
I know! Guys, for those of you that don't know, Monty creator of this show, the original, torchbearer, his favorite anime of all time was Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. And this show, Gurren Lagann, is one of the most inspirational hype shows ever.
Oh, yeah.
And this is perfect homage in a way that I think most people won't get.
Right.
Because they might get that maybe it's a Gurren Lagann reference. Right. Or they might get that it's a mecha kaiju battle reference. Which is a total
this is a very specific reference right here.
And when you get a giga, a big massive drill, and you shove it into the big monster.
In many ways,
kaiju.
it's kind of the perfect way, visual metaphor in my mind for redeeming Cordovan, because it's basically taking her thing that was a weakness of being obsessed with, Atlas's big drill, and waving that around and finally bringing that to bear against the enemy, for one.
Right.
But then also doing it in a way that is a callback to, anyone who does that, right, immediately goes up 25 points on the hype level.
Right, and she was pretty low.
So
she needed those 25 hype points.
Exactly, it helped a lot.
Yes, it helped a lot, but her final character bit of just saying, I understand that what you bring to this conflict and what you mean to this story in a kind of a meta way is more than what I mean to it. there was a humility aspect to it.
Uh-huh.
She realizes that her job is reports. Her job is
Right.
I need to pick off the stragglers.
Yep.
You're the one that's going to deal with big monsters and things like this. So
Right.
if I end up missing something in my report, it's not the end of the world.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah.
And we can be done with her character forever as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
She served her purpose and that's good.
Right.
RWBY though is the star of this volume.
Yes.
Like let's be real
Absolutely.
here. This whole scene with
Weiss
her
too, but yeah.
Weiss is always our queen, but I'm talking about who's our star at the
right,
moment.
right.
Star is,
Yes,
so
yes.
she also shone bright like a diamond. And,
This
all
is
that.
very true.
So there's that.
Yeah.
RWBY having her moment with this, recalling back all the things that have made her journey worthwhile, have made her journey one that is memorable, have made her journey one that has changed her. It's something that's good to bring up because in past volumes, one of the things that's been argued about RWBY's character is that she's been pretty static. We've seen little elements of where they could have had her react emotionally to the trauma of what happened in volume 3 in like volumes 4 or maybe some in volume 5 with her conversation with Oscar, but she doesn't really talk about it too much. It actually was focused a little bit more on Jean in like volume 4.
Yeah.
She has a conversation where Jean kind of more monologues that whole bit in volume 4. So RWBY felt like we hadn't really gotten inside her head as much.
Right.
And now through this volume, we had her conversation with Maria Calavera, which I still think is probably one of the best important moments in RWBY as a series for RWBY's character.
Yes, for sure.
Just specifically for her character.
Yeah.
And this was a direct callback to that, in that you're doing this to protect the people of Remnant.
Right.
And you're doing this for them. So she's literally standing in between the people of Remnant, Argus, this monster kaiju Leviathan Grim.
Yep.
She recalls back everything about the people that she cares about, the people that she's lost, to stoke the fire of her desire to protect these people behind her, never let these kinds of things that happened in her past happen again. And it's still not enough. It's still not enough. That is how big I think this is that Yang has had her trauma, and it still affects her little bits here and there. I think she might be free in some ways by the lyrics in the song. I think that was a very pointed song. A lot of RWBY songs are generally a little bit vague intentionally, but I think this song was very pointed. There was a part about Yang and potentially Blake in there. I think it was kind of both of them, but it could have been either or. I think it works better if it's either or. But point being, they're talking about freedom. And I think Yang might have now and Blake specifically, be freed from this nightmare of being hounded by Adam. But I think RWBY constantly is like avoiding the nightmare in her head, thinking about the things that have happened and stuff. And she
hasn't had a permanent physical reminder, of what has happened. So it's easier to sort of brush aside.
It's easier to, I think, compartmentalize it. But when she needs to stoke it back up, when she needs to bring it back up for the purpose of utilizing her silver eyes, it's something that actually shakes her. It unsettles her to the point where I don't think she can utilize that emotion. And
then it becomes more about fear rather than protecting.
Yep. And then she panics and says Jin's name, which is hilariously genius, actually.
Don't you mean genius?
Genius? Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't even use that. Well done, you brilliant bastard. And then we get a Zawado stop time moment. Tokyo Tamare.
Because we can't just have a Gurren Lagann reference. We need. This wasn't fully.
No,
JoJo's
not
reference.
really.
Not really.
But she gamed the system.
Yep.
She utilized a tool that was at her disposal.
Yeah.
And Jin was kind about the manipulation of her abilities, which I felt to be a little bit like, okay, sure.
Yeah. Nice move.
If I was the DM, I might have rewarded this kind of clever thinking as well, but I would also give the, don't do this again.
Right, this won't work
You will
twice.
lose a question if you do this.
Right.
Or I just won't come out unless you specifically ask, Jin, I have a question. This is my question.
Or I won't unstop time until you ask a question.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, that was fantastic. That was awesome.
So no question used.
No question used. It's like, all right, good, cool.
And they brought in a new track.
Yeah, when RWBY did the Silver Eyes.
That was
awesome.
And she
so amazing.
She recollected the emotions and
seeing all the past stuff that we hadn't necessarily seen before, and certainly not in this art style. But like all the stuff of like Yang and Taeyang as you know, like way back
a long time
and
ago.
Then
That was new.
Summer,
and Summer Rose, guys, we actually saw Summer, and it's like I get that. I get that seeing Summer is something that, you know, we've all been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that, you know, if there was anything about why RWBY is the way she is, it's because of, you know, her mother in a lot of ways. But she didn't really know Summer.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, it's something that RWBY shouldn't really have that memory of Summer. Like, RWBY was, like Yang said, she was too young probably to remember anything. Like she was really young.
Or was RWBY too young to remember Summer, or was she too young to remember when?
Oh,
Raven
sorry. I'm getting confused
I'm not
here.
entirely sure, but
I'm getting confused here. No, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, she doesn't remember Raven, but so she has this memory of Summer and stuff. But there's this almost like sweet aspect of it, of where there's a passing on the torch.
Oh yeah,
and feeling like she's now actually
right.
She's now actually, I would say, fulfilling her purpose. She's being who she was meant to be.
Yeah.
And there's
this
something
is the day that she's waited for.
Right. There's something I would say beautiful in that, and there's also something really sad in that, because Summer's dead. Summer's dead.
Yep.
Like
She's
I loved the theories way back when that Salem is Summer, but no.
Yeah.
Salem killed Summer. Summer was sent to defeat Salem,
and it didn't work.
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the things that is really sad about all this, is that RWBY is fighting a battle that right now, the only thing we have going for it is maybe Ozpin's prophecy of a smaller, more honest soul. You know, like Ozpin's thing of basically saying that, like, it's not going to be, you know, great power. It's not going to be, you know, strength that defeats
won't
darkness.
Necessarily be some massive drill piercing the heavens.
No.
I mean, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
But
did you also see a little bit of a connection of kind of a is kind of fun, like, because RWBY looks so similar to Summer, right?
Oh yeah, right, and that's definitely.
But the white cloak and kind of a okay, so remember in MHA?
Mm-hmm.
Nana Shimura.
Yeah. That was
for the final
I thought
smash.
Of that too. Yeah.
I think it's mostly the white cloak.
Well, right.
But there's the dark-haired woman in white clook that you know, basically says,
right,
you know,
it's the
your
passing
turn.
on of the torch. Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really beautiful. I also got to say, I like that we are now getting a little bit of the limitations of the Silver Eyes.
Yes. Which means Kevin might have escaped by now.
I think not.
Oh, yeah?
I think not. It might just be the size and strength of the Grimm.
Sure, Kevin was not nearly as big as this boy.
And also, here's another thing that might be a little bit sad here, is that RWBY broke at that.
Right.
At that
yes.
scene.
This was her calling up the emotions.
Yes.
That was
the real
the eruption of everything that had been
gut-wrenching, visceral reaction of it that was so raw.
Of her friend literally getting killed in front of her. So if they ever have a Leviathan and they don't have a mech with a drill, what they need to do is just like kill Weiss or Blake.
Shut up! Like, no, not at all. Not even as a joke. Like,
no. But dang
it, Jacob.
The part with Cinder and Neo at the beginning was great. Very stylish. Although there's a part of me that was wondering the fact that they had Neo literally just like change her outfit for something low cut. Is that something that's just like a bit of fan service that they're throwing at the fans because they know how much of a fan favorite Neo is?
As opposed to her original outfit?
As opposed to her original outfit. I mean, I'm all for the new outfit. It looks great. And the actual, like, transformation sequence...
I honestly don't care, didn't notice. I think if anything, I was more surprised that Cinder is still forcing herself to wear high heels. Like she's wearing high heels in the grass.
Well,
like,
I mean,
the grass and
Cinder,
dirt.
You know,
I get it.
Like she has to have the slippers, you know.
But like I was kind of a big fan of like Zuko alone Cinder, you know.
Yeah. Well,
like,
but she's
no, here's the thing. That's
she
a good
doesn't
point.
like the idea of Cinder alone. You know?
No, but that's actually a good point. You know what these outfits are? These are preparation for Atlas.
Yes,
because Atlas is a little bit of a higher society kind of wealthy area. So what you'd need is something that would blend in a little bit better.
Something to conceal the Grim arm too.
Well, she has something, and it's some kind of like gloved thing with the claws being covered in black or something. Yeah, because the claws are white, so they should have been shown as white unless they were covered, which means they were covered because they were black. So that means that
well, and like if it's just like a little cloak flap, you know, that's hiding it, that wouldn't.
Well, it wasn't because we saw the arm.
Right, exactly.
Her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Her. What is that thing called?
I have no idea.
Because it's like half poncho, half like fashion.
All I'm
statement.
saying is that it's basically Fire Nation robes. Is the thing.
The like, color scheme, yes, I mean, trim.
Like, just saying, this is the episode of references right here, and
yeah, the lighting made it tricky for me to tell whether or not the actual like main color was black or kind of a purple blue or something. But if it's black, then yeah, it's Fire Nation. So.
It's just saying, it had the gold trim and everything. Like,
yeah.
So
if Cinder can be given the opportunity to be involved in Volume 7's conflict in a way that is consistent with her character's motivation, she might be redeemed as a character.
So basically, so that because. And you're not talking about redeemed like from a moral sense, but like redeemed
in terms of
from the
writing
standpoint
perspective.
of being another character where now it's like, okay, I want to see what happens with this character, and not just because I'm hopeful for the future, but because actively being excited about the things that they're up to this minute.
Yes, I wanted to kind of draw a comparison here between Cinder and Adam real quick, because I think Cinder and Adam have both been given
similar
labels. Writing treatment.
Oh, okay.
Where they've been essentially potential baiting us with both of them like for a very long time now.
Sure.
I think that Adam has actually been done better in a lot of ways than that Cinder has, in that he actually has something that he's doggedly going after and making like really, really intense decisions based upon. I like Cinder's motivations being so simple and being contrary to Salem's in a lot of ways. Yeah. Like she has not reported in.
Nope.
Like that's
she's
not,
AWOL.
Yeah, she's kind of AWOL at this point. The thing is that we didn't really get any of that conflict with her. We didn't get any of that because I don't think she had a reason to talk about it. But if she bumps into anyone in Salem's party, that's where things will get interesting. So Adam, I just wanted to bring this up really quick about Adam, because I've been seeing in the fandom a lot of things about people really being upset with how Adam was handled.
Really?
Yeah, and I understand why. I understand why they're upset, but I wanted to say something right here, is that Adam's character was already homogenized and, like, I would say lessened in terms of potential back in Volume 3. The minute Adam showed up in Volume 3
and went into his
and went into angry,
voice,
ragey ex-boyfriend thing, that was his character.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. The black trailer, there is no character of Adam
It's
there.
just, what
I'll
about them?
I'll set the charges.
Right.
That's basically to show that there was a conflict between Blake and Adam
on a morality
that separated
level.
them on a moral they were morally askew from each other.
But that didn't tell us personality and who he was really.
Right. So CRWBY basically realized, oh, we're gonna kill him this volume. Well, let's do a short showing how he was before he was, essentially a problem.
Sure.
Like, he was a good, inspiring, up-and-coming leader within the White Fang. He was competent.
Right.
Because of his competency, people, I think, boosted his ego a little bit too much.
Right.
And because they boosted his ego a little bit too much, he began to believe his own hype and drink his own Kool-Aid to where it ended up snowballing out of control into where he is now. And the whole ego-tripping side of things is very obviously portrayed in a deranged, messed up character way with Blake. And I would say that is something that they've been consistent with since Volume 3.
Yes.
And if you think that this is some like sudden change in Adam's character, because they wanted to make Bumblebee canon,
no.
Sorry.
The only way I could see
100%
potentially people being
disagree.
salty about how the whole Adam thing went was because he got defeated and killed.
Right.
You know,
he's just
like,
such a good fighter that you're
right.
just surprised that he ended up being defeated.
Yeah, but
and
they-
that's the thing, is that we have such loose mechanics when it comes to RWBY fights and stuff like that. Like that's like getting, well, no, actually this is something that a lot of fandom probably still is salty about. That's like still holding on to the grudge that Pyrrha died. Because she went to go and fight Cinder, even though she was probably knew she was going to lose against Cinder either way. Like, because she saw how strong, you know, Cinder was underneath Beacon and stuff.
Right.
So like, I understand that it's okay to react in a way, and you're like, I don't like this. This doesn't feel right to me.
Sure, you wanted more chances for Adam's
right. You wanted more potential for Adam's
Totally
character
makes
and
sense.
stuff. Totally makes sense.
But he did.
But he's dead.
Yeah.
So reality will eventually do its toll, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. But I think Cinder is in kind of the same boat here.
Well,
back when she fought Raven, she was at a point in her character where there wasn't much really left for her.
Right. It's because
she was a pretty wooden, one-dimensional character.
Wanting power isn't enough. Like it's not enough.
Yeah. Not only that, like she had her whole issues with the Volume 5 thing. So like yeah. But with where she is now, she's basically simplified her character and then opened up potential doors for the I'm not with Salem anymore kind of plot line.
Although,
but they should have.
They ended with her closing doors.
What do you mean?
Terrible joke. But just the last thing we saw of her was, closing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nice. So that's that.
We have so many parties that are going to be going to Alice, though, and the idea of like Volume 7 of RWBY, like it blows my mind just thinking about it. Like Volume 7, like that's such a big number, but it's a thing. It exists. Like I remember when Volume 1 came out and all that stuff, and it was freaking out, and I thought, that like all I could think about was the jokes and the antics and everything of the first volume, and then there was Volume 2 with the food fight and everything. It was like, whoa, this is awesome, and now we're here. Now we're here, and it's like the whole idea of like we have loose plans for 20 volumes or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's never. Wait a minute, Volume 7. Wait, could this actually go that far?
Yeah, well, I've been in the camp of RWBY will go at least 10 volumes minimum. So
yeah.
I was thinking if anything we could get as many as like 12 volumes.
Yeah, because that's the thing that blows me away.
Yeah,
is that it keeps getting better. Now there are hiccups along the way, right? Things like the pacing of Volume 4, things like that. But but if you look at it, right, and you look at the trend overall, it's definitely getting better. Like we might not have the same kind of like carefree antics of like the first 2 volumes, But holy crap, like this show has grown and matured, and like looking at it and how it is now, it's like, wow.
See, like this is part of the thing that I think needs to be said, though, is that the story of RWBY is something that I've always tried to separate from the actual, like, the whole experience of it. And I think the story of RWBY has been kind of all over the place in terms of, like, what's been, like, the best in terms of, like, progression and, just character development and, all that stuff that makes up the story part, right?
Okay.
But, like, the actual, like, effort and production and everything else being put into RWBY has been, like, this, like you said, this never-ending, just, like, constantly going up into like into the stratosphere.
Right. Well, yeah, and that of course, and it's absolutely wonderful to see. Like the whole shot of Atlas was just so good, and I love that we didn't even realize that Atlas is actually like a floating city,
right?
Until now,
yeah.
Like that's fantastic. But even with the story, like they've been ironing out the the issues, because there have been issues, right? Growing pains and things like that, but a lot of the stuff that was the main issues that I had with like volumes 4 and 5, for instance, is that it ended up feeling like a lot of buildup, but it's like, will they be able to capitalize on it, and all this stuff. But like the idea of going to Atlas, right? I am so stoked for what's gonna happen in Atlas. Like this was one of, if not my favorite volume of RWBY thus far.
Yeah,
and I think volume 7 has a very good chance of topping this one.
Oh well, I think yeah.
So like. That's awesome that we can be that far into the show and have the idea that
the best volumes are still in front of us.
That's insane.
Well, I think that's also part of the beauty of watching RWBY as a whole. Like, for those of you that have been watching RWBY since the trailers and stuff, it's been a wild ride. There have been a lot of parts within the fandom and within the journey of RWBY as a whole where you look back and remember, like, there are things that a lot of the people who just got started because Volume 3 was really hype and broke the internet don't really remember. You don't remember, going through the forest, part 3, 3.5 minute long episode of Volume 1.
Yep.
Yeah. Like they don't remember that. They don't remember like people really, really hating Weiss at the end of Volume 1.
Or in the beginning.
Or just the beginning in general. Yeah, people I remember when the trailers came out.
Weiss was the fan favorite.
Weiss was one of the fan favorites. I think Blake was probably the other fan favorite. And there were a lot of Weiss and Blake ships. Like, a huge amount of Weiss and Blake ships. And it was just like this
checkmate,
Yeah, exactly. But then what ended up happening was the story came out and people just fell in love with like the color, the beauty, the positive energy, the weapons. Like it just became this fount of where creativity was spawned from. And then it took forever before we even got into our first like really big fight post episode 1.
And even then there were a bunch of people that had issues when they first got into the show, and it had a much less serious tone than the trailers did.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, what's going on? Okay, high school antics and, high-pitched voices. Like, come on, I expected more gritty seriousness. Where's the intense fights with the awesome music, And then you'd have to wait many weeks to get to, the whole Deathstalker and Nevermore fight.
Players in Pieces.
Yeah, Players in Pieces.
Yeah.
And now we're...
now we're here.
We're here.
It's something where... I'm sure a lot of people who have experienced like long-running shonen stuff have probably had this, experience as well, is where you grow attached to the journey that you went on just as much as you grow attached to the characters in the story that you're watching.
Sure.
And there's a lot of things that happen that are extraneous to the actual experience of the show, or not the experience of the show, but the show itself, that are actually a part of the experience. And RWBY is one like that, where I have always been really hopeful and positive about this show because, one, I've met like a lot of the people that work on this show, and the amount of like passion they have for it, the amount of like excitement they have for it is just so fun to like know that that's real, like that's a thing. Like I always get worried when people are like excited about like, oh, the 7th season or the whatever of something is coming out and it's going to be so good. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head like, the people that work on this,
do they still enjoy working on it?
Do they still enjoy working on it? Are they just trying to repeat the formula of that one season that happened to
so
work
they can
properly?
Keep the paycheck coming in because somehow they stumbled into this thing that they don't fully understand?
Yep.
Yep.
No, these people love this world. They love this universe. They love these characters. They love doing the do. Like one of the things that's really fun is going into shout out Murder of Birds' discussion streams and stuff like that. And you'll see him like call out, because he spends his time hyper-analyzing specific frames, like specific little like
bits
subtle
of
things, bits of animation that the animators will have in there, not just for like goofy fun, which some of them are, and they're pretty hilarious, but also for things that are like, oh, did you see that subtle little thing there? Like that is a bit of like subtle like visual characterization for like a specific character's
Gotcha.
like thing that's going on in their head right now.
Uh-huh.
That's something that we didn't have in the first 3 volumes.
We
just
had
didn't have
disintegrating
those
cookies and like
like
awkward roof runs and things.
Yeah, the team at Rooster Teeth has just killed it this volume, and I gotta say this is my favorite volume. This is definitely my favorite volume. I think that I wasn't sure how they were gonna end it. But they really did stick the landing. Like, I feel like they flew high this volume.
Not just literally, but
like,
also figuratively.
Like, the first episode alone was like, here's the bar. I'm like, oh my god. And then they had episode 3. Oh my god. And then they had the apathy.
Which was
oh
amazing.
my god.
Yeah.
Like, we had
there were so
a
many
horror
references
RWBY
this season.
2-parter little mini arc. What the heck?
Yep.
Then we had an actual, like, fully fleshed out city, like a really well fleshed out city that had to be so much work on the people behind
they
like this thing
even
there.
like go into great detail of showing the city damaged or anything. There was the one shot where the fire laser breath thing, blew up like the bell tower or whatever it was, but that was it. But they showed us all that rest of it.
Yep. I gotta say though, like, one of the things that worries me about Volume 7 is, if I was Salem and I wanted to make a statement and I wanted to basically ruin the hope of Atlas, they'll be all like,
go back and destroy Argus.
Basically, they'll be on the high of, yeah, Argus, they survived this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And then just suddenly like, we have a person saying she'd like to send a message to Atlas.
Yeah.
Kill
and then
her.
suddenly,
what are you talking about? And then she just shrugs it off, keeps walking forward, obliterates the gate and the wall and everything.
I'm picturing like
High-level
Fire Lord
spells,
in like the end of Airbender, and just that part where he prepares his super mega ultra flamethrower, and
right, yeah,
and then it's just like and the thing is they could still do that because they built up the city. And the characters in that city.
Yep.
There's families there. There's kids. People that we know and love, right? And they could just and imagine as a final shot or whatever, as the city gets destroyed, you see the fire, the flames, the magic or whatever just destroy the Pyrrha statue.
Sure.
Sure. Like,
there you go. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So Volume 7, we have our predictions and stuff for that. We've given a lot of them already, but there's a lot of cool things that can go into the themes of how humanity has made mistakes along the road to survival and to advancement. I am looking forward. I am looking forward to basically the I'm looking forward basically to the RWBY reference. Basically, Jacob and I have been waiting for this for a while. We've been calling it since Penny was introduced, and in Volume 2 confirmed to be a robot like this. Is that there is an army, a prototype, or not necessarily prototype. Penny was the prototype,
but there's going to be an army of these things.
Penny 2.0s,
and Iron Daddy will stand at the lead of them.
And it's going to be basically like a bunch of Texes in Red vs. Blue, where they all just, you know.
And it's going to be terrifying.
It's going to be horrifying. Yeah. And 100% those Berengal flying monkeys are going to all fight against this army of
assuming Watts doesn't assume direct control of the Penny army.
Yes, that's the other thing that could be a
that would suck just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, we finally got to look at Atlas.
It's gorgeous.
And now here's the thing: there's Atlas, and this is something I've been waiting for them to describe, like in detail. Is there's Solitas, the whole island, right? Right. Solitas was the kingdom of Mantle's basically land. Mantle was Acquisition was basically defeated by Atlas, and Atlas became the new ruling power of the island, essentially. But the kingdom of Mantle still exists. It's just, it's just a vassal, essentially, of Atlas.
Right.
But the thing is that Atlas is now a floating city.
Yeah, like as far as defenses against the Grim go, like that's great.
That's almost perfect.
Yeah. Now, granted, with how many Flying Grim Salem has,
who knows how many she'll have by the time they actually set out, right?
Right, exactly. I'm like, this is some Silmarillion Morgoth stuff where Salem, really, since she's immortal, she should just be like, cool.
And she sees the means of black goo production, so there's no limit to what she can actually make.
She just, you know, I mean, spend 100 years just spawning Grim.
I think that's what she's been doing.
You just, when you finally go out there, you have billions of them, you know, like, yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So now that we've seen Mantle and Atlas and how they are separated, I now understand what that lady in Volume 4 was all about.
Oh,
they didn't have proper kingdom defenses. I'm like, oh,
really?
I get it now.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a floating city with like I think the only reason they can do that actually is because Solitas is essentially the biggest dust cluster area in Remnant, so they were able to just get a ton of gravity dust.
Yeah, and just be like, oh, what, we're going through like, you know, 1 million pounds worth of whatever unit of measurement is.
Something.
Units of gravity dust per month. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
It's fine.
You know, yeah. No big deal.
It is kind of interesting though, because there's some
connotations
there's connotations
because
there.
that means that Jacques Schnee has let's just say that the Atlas government kind of needs him,
and generally when a corporation gets so big that the government needs to listen to what they say and do.
That's
Did I say government
scary.
Or corporation that gets too big? I think it's when a corporation gets so big
that the government
needs to you don't necessarily have an independent free government anymore.
Thankfully we have Iron Daddy.
I think Iron Daddy is probably going to be heated in the middle of actual like intrigue level kind of politicking with him, because the fleet hasn't actually done anything. Now, they did have we recall all Atlas forces from the world back to Atlas, so maybe they've now finally recalled everyone, or they're still in the process of that, but I would think that in some ways you can't have a conflict between money and military might go on and actually be successful.
Right, war is expensive.
Well, they're not at war. I'm talking about
just militaries are expensive.
Yes, I'm talking about like where the military itself can't be lorded over the Schnee Dust Company forever, because the Schnee Dust Company supplies the means by which to fuel.
Yeah, biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see actually a really cool bit here where Watts comes in and he helps kind of fuel the conflict a little. This he ends up making that be a little bit more divisive and everything like that.
Sure.
But if we have some kind of Dictator Ironwood plotline, something that we've been saying will probably end up happening,
and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
If it does happen, here's the thing where it can be really interesting, is that I think that would actually push Weiss away, because Weiss is going to be one of the main important conflict characters of this volume coming up, away from Ironwood and actually towards Doc. And they might need to save Ironwood from himself, basically. And here's the thing. That would actually put them on a confrontation path, Jacques and Weiss, that would be very good for both of them. Like, Weiss needs to confront him, and that's something that's his.
Sure.
That's her monster that she needs to defeat, basically.
Yes. And then the little Shitley, he's the ad, you know.
He's the ad, who cares?
Whatever.
That is a good point, though. This will be basically the Schnee conflict coming up here with
it's going to be fantastic
with a lot of companions. Weiss and her companions.
Yep. Like,
go Queen.
The number of players in this next volume is going to be ridiculous,
right?
Because you've got RWBY and the gang
and company,
yeah. You've got Neo and Cinder. You've got
Ironwood and
Atlas,
Winter.
Ironwood and Winter. You've got Schnee Dust Company.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Watts doing his whole thing.
Yeah, with
right?
Tyrion.
Which is then which is then going to be tied to Salem, but it's going to be a different.
It's going to
in
be a
my mind,
separate thing.
they're like different parties.
Totally.
And then there's what Salem does.
Yeah,
probably with Hazel and Mercury and Emerald.
Oh, I don't think they'll be.
Oh no,
they'll be sent.
You don't think she'll bring them with her?
I don't think she'll need to.
She'll toss Hazel the keys and be like, "Keep the place clean while I'm away."
Oh yeah, I don't think they leave that place like completely undefended ever.
No. Make sure that Mercury and Emerald are in bed by 11, something like that.
Well, I think it's also possibly that if Salem is paying attention, she should realize that they're not actually fully with her yet, and Hazel's job right now is to
watch over them.
Well, to make sure that they eventually are fully with them.
Sure, but and if we get, hey, anytime we get more Uncle Hazel with Mercury and Emerald,
Uncle Hazel
I am
is
all
best,
for that because
Uncle
Hazel is just awesome.
Except the Drunkle.
Actually, in some ways
he is better.
In some ways he's better.
Well, that's recency bias just because of what Crow had to go through this volume.
Right, exactly. But
Great finale. Great song to have in the end credits there. That was really good. I think that was a Blake and Adam or Yang / Blake and Adam song.
I saw it as being more of a Salem thing.
Okay, I think you were listening.
You won
to the
this
lyrics
battle,
then.
but I won the war.
No. I don't think you were listening to the lyrics. I would go back and take a look again because there's a very specific part that's like hardcore, like Adam, like Blake.
The songs in RWBY generally can be applied to a ton of different characters. With the exceptions of like very specific ones, like Bumblebee or whatever.
Like an example of one where people have constantly tried to apply it to specific ones, and it's way more vague. Is Sacrifice. Yep.
And because I don't see how Blake or Yang would be saying you won this battle, but I won the war.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that lyric. Don't take that one lyric and then have that. Cover the whole
There's
song.
other stuff too with the other parts of the song.
Right. Well, we'll check out the lyrics and stuff, and then we'll do that and stuff as well. Which, by the way, we probably will do a Volume 6 song music review this time. The reason why we didn't do one with Volume 5 particularly was because most of the songs were already heard and stuff. But Volume 6 one might be one that makes sense because I don't remember many, if any, of the songs that were actually put into Volume 6 this time around that were new.
Right, there were a lot in the recent episodes, but still.
Yeah, exactly. And not the OST we're talking about here, but like the new Jeff and Casey lyric based.
The OST was fantastic too. Like the
OST
background tracks were
had some good ones, But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion, well, too bad. That's Volume 7. That's coming up later and stuff. But we will be doing reaction to those. For those of you that are asking about Genlock, no, we will not be doing reactions to Genlock. It's going to be made specifically be on roosterteeth.com's first membership program thing. I think the first episode is free for everyone, but go check that out and support them there. Thank you all for going on this journey with us here. Stay tuned this summer before RTX for the next RWBY trivia contest, though, the Vital Knowledge Tournament.
Nice.
That'll be our third one that we'll have done, and I'll be hosting it this time, and I'm thinking about having some kind of RTX related thing to correlate with. But I will incorporate Volume 6 trivia into this one as well.
Also, forgot to mention during the discussion, because this episode was so crazy, but again, my sci-fi novel Battle Lines is still available for pre-order. So go check that out. There's a pinned link in the pinned comment with a link to the thing. Get that there because it's really good, and the signed copies will not be available much longer. So
check that out. So we'll see you all in future videos, but until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.